the color palette of flowers, but yet white pops from 100 yards away. And then you put these yellow medallions in the middle of a Shasta daisy, and you get one of the happiest looking flowers you could imagine. Now these are called Lancaster Betsy Shasta Daisies, and we've got them brand new, the only order of the season. This is an opportunity to be able to plant something that really is stunning, and yet one of the easiest plants in the world in which to grow. Katie, this is also a perennial, so it'll come back year after year, won't it?
It will, and I would love this planted with your butterfly weed. You know, the white plants that you see here are going to just make that orange pop. They'll also fill in some of the density, and they're about the same height. They're about 2 feet tall. These will bloom a little earlier. Our butterfly weed's a summer plant. This is a spring blooming plant. It also loves full sun. So think about that. And like our butterfly weed, it's deer resistant. So that's a really hot thing, I know, because I mean, what yard in America anymore doesn't have deer? Or what back patio, I should say, doesn't have deer? So
True.
that's a really great thing about these daisies. We love Shasta daisies at Cottage Farms. We love to bring you this plant because it is, as you said, Dan, it is that happy little face. It brings you so much joy. But check out how big these flowers are. You know, it's a enormous, maybe 4-inch across flower. That's the difference here in these Lancaster Betsy's, is that they are going to be bigger flower heads. So when we want flower power, this is the plant you choose for that. He loves me not.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about the business of gardening for a minute, because we don't do much of that when we're on the air. There are a lot of companies out there that are plant companies that what they do is they source plants. They have connections with a greenhouse here and a greenhouse there and a grower there. Cottage Farms, they are also involved in the science of gardening. So there are horticultural experts that are breeding and hybridizing plants to make them bigger, to make them better, to make them grow easier for you. So when you see the term Shasta Daisy and you go to your garden center, it's not usually a big flower. They're a little bit bigger than $50. And people call them cute. These are, they're like on steroids. They're bigger, they're stronger, and another perennial, so you get to enjoy them for a longer period of time.
You do, and the other difference in the other Shastas is that this white flower, we love white flowers in our garden. They make anything pop, but a lot of times the sun will burn out the flowers, turn them brown, and then they don't have that staying power. It's another reason why we chose this particular Lancaster Betsy, because it does have that staying power, and it's going to bloom longer than other traditional Shastas on the market. So it will start for you in spring and bloom clear for you all summer long.
All of these factors are important when you're planting a garden. And I think this year, by the way, lawn and garden wise has been our biggest year ever.
Yes,
so I think it's because of the mindset that we adopted last year, knowing that we weren't going on vacations, we weren't going to be doing a lot of social interaction. So we turned our gardens and our backyards into these wonderful little sanctuaries of calm. And we're going to see that again this year. I was so excited to see crocuses popping up.
I know.
I don't. This has been the longest winter in memory. So to see the spring and to see it coming our way, plant your gardens with the understanding of what blooms at what time. So I love your idea of putting this right with the butterfly bushes that we just offered, so that you don't have a garden that only pleases you for a few weeks or a few months. You get different colors, different changes. That's the progression and the fun of watching things grow.
And it's not just for you, Dan. I mean, back to our butterfly weed, it's important to have 3 seasons of bloom in your garden for our pollinators too. So we want to design gardens that have spring color, summer color, fall color, and we've got all of that for you in this show, but it's also important for our pollinators too. So these daisies will be that spring plant for you. Your butterfly weed is going to be that summer plant for you, and we've got a Mr. Goodbud sedum coming up that will be that fall plant for you. So that's really important.
These work great in containers.
Yes.
If listen, you don't have to have a lot of acreage to have just a gorgeous outdoor living space. Now, these also work really well grouped together as a focal point. So, around a mailbox is a perfect place for something like this. Not that your mail carrier can't find the box already, but you can't miss it. Plants like this, these are so different that they become landmarks. Good example, planting Shasta daisies around the mailbox is a great way to tell the pizza delivery guy, just look for the white flowers at the mailbox.
Oh.
We don't see a lot of white flowers though normally, Katie.
No, you don't. I think that one of the biggest reasons is that burnout that the flowers happen, and also that we gravitate towards color. When we want something in our garden, we gravitate towards color. But I think that's one of the biggest design mistakes that people make, is putting too many plants and too many colors in their garden. We could really pare it down, have some themes in our garden, and then we put these pops of white, to connect the rooms. It's so important to have that neutral resting spot for our eyes in the garden, and that's what these daisies provide.
I have 2 little grandbabies who are toddlers. And out of all the flowers that can be planted, the first ones that they will migrate towards are going to be the daisies. Because they're the happy. I've said this before. If you ever see a cartoon and it's got flowers and the flowers are dancing, they're always daisies. They are.
They are. They are.
Yeah. So
I know.
They're
and you can make a crown for them.
Yeah.
There's so many fun things. And the more you pick them, the better they will bloom. They make great cut flowers. I mean, you can see all the buds popping up on these. They are just going to bloom their heads off. So cut them and bring them indoors to enjoy inside. Let your kids pick them off. You don't need to worry about your kids going after these. They're hardy plants.
Yeah. Oh man, we've got so much fun stuff in this hour. I am so appreciative, Katie, for you, your expertise, your friendship, and then also for the viewers that are tuning in today. Cottage Farms guarantees that you're happy. So talk a little bit about the warranty if you would.